Three things to consider prior to accepting a task. This is a great lesson for all of us to tune into today. Before you accept a new task or set another goal, determine whether you have to do it, you want to do it, or determine if somebody else can do it. Those right there, those three things are critical to understand. First of all, do you have to do it? And sometimes you want to do things that you don't have to do. And then sometimes somebody else will present something to you. And you're like, yeah, I don't think so. This is the Better You Leadership Podcast. It's an ongoing journey to become a better leader. Ultimately, when women put some of these tips, techniques, and tactics into place, you're going to build your skills and your leadership capacity. This podcast teaches women the nuances of personal development with the intent of earning more respect and more revenue. And every week, I'm here to offer insights to help you on this journey. My name is Angela M. Odom, and I'm a trusted leader. And my goal is to help you become a more trusted leader. This episode of the Better You Leadership Podcast is sponsored by Odom General Store, where you'll find merch for leaders and items that inspire. Go to www.odomgeneralstore.com. Do you find it difficult to say no to folks? When people or folks, I like folks, when folks compliment you, do you try to return the favor with another compliment or doing whatever they ask after the compliment? What do you find your response? Do you know what you want in life? That's like a huge, I think that's like really big. Like, what do you want? Because if you don't know what you want, people will definitely try and help you determine what's best for you. So, in the next 10 years, do you know what you want? In the next 10 months, do you know what you want? Or do you know what you want like in the next 10 minutes? What's a priority for you? Really, do you know what you value and what's important to you? Or have you adopted the values of those people around you, the values, your sense of being, your validation from outside of you? Like you're not able to just meditate and say, this is my own thoughts. So do you know what you want, what you need, what you desire? I don't know. I'm just asking you to consider these questions because I want you to know, whom do you gain your validation? Where do you gain that? What's important to the people that are around you and what's seeping into you and your thoughts, right? So allow me to share three things to consider prior to you accepting a new task or prior to you setting a new goal. I just want you to consider these things. So the first consideration is just ask yourself the question, do I have to do it? This new thing, this new task. And most of the time it's you conjuring these things up, right? You just saying, "Ooh, it's impulse. Do I have to do it?" Now, what is it we have to do? You say breathe. We got to pay taxes, right? We have to, if you got some kids, if you have some children, you have some pets, then you got to take care of them, right? You have to take care of them. Sure, you said excellent info will make sure to finish when it's taped. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. So the first thing is to ask yourself the question, do I have to do it? And if the answer is yes, then figure it out, right? And then the next thing is, do I want to do it? And if the answer is yes, then prioritize your schedule and your resources to get it done. And then, can somebody else do it? Don't do it. That's just that simple. Don't do it. We have a finite amount of time and resources and energy. So once we've determined our own priorities, what's important to us, most of the time, you hear people say my family, right? Whatever, my church, my God, all these things. And then when they spend their time and their money, their resources, you'll notice And don't judge them. If you focus on your own self, you got enough to focus on, right? But I'm just telling you to make sure when you see these things, you say, "Oh, so you say your boo is important to you, but you all out here doing this other thing all the time." Shut up with that foolishness, right? You say that your kids, their development is important to you. You don't even talk to them, right? How is that? What? Come on now. So the first thing is, if you have to do it, figure it out. And so for me, what I do is I step back and I have to look and see what is it I can um, what do I need to start doing? What do I need to stop doing? Or what do I need to keep doing to accomplish this task, this goal, this thing? And most of us are like all about being excellent and perfect. That's caca. That's just it's not realistic all the time. So for me, I seek to learn from the experience. I'm okay with failing. I'm okay with being looking foolish because I'm going to learn from that particular experience, right? I'm looking to evolve, to be better, to become. So if I have to do it, I want to figure it out. And what I know for sure, based on my own experience, is nothing significant is done alone. So we have to build relationships, even if the first relationship is with ourselves, right? So we have to build relationships. And as you're figuring it out, I told my son this the other day. Once you decide this is what you want, this is what you desire, and you start to take action in that direction, the entire universe will avail itself to you, right? And so let's make sure we know that the things that we put out, whoo, they're already going to come back. So if you're doing something crazy and mean spirited to somebody, it's going to come back on you. Boom. So just know that. So know that as you are moving towards this thing, you are figuring it out, you are building relationships, and you are being authentic and transparent. Um, then I'm going to tell you, you're going to do that thing, right? So that's the first consideration is, do I have to do it? If we have to do it, then go all in and do it, right? That second thing of, the question of, do I want to do it? So if you don't have to do it and you want to do it, it's a totally different space to be in. However, if you have to do it and you want to do it, boom, that's beautiful, right? But either way, for me, I prioritize my schedule and resources and I get it done or not, or I learn from it or fail or, whatever it is. So take action towards that thing. And again, I stop and I ask myself, who do I need to be? What do I need to start doing, stop doing, keep doing to accomplish this task? And so that's something I want you to, take notes. Make sure that you get this thing. You're like, well, I don't know why, I don't know why this thing that I want, this goal that I need, that I want to do this. I desire to have this manifest in my life. It's just because of your schedule. If you just take out your calendar and look at how you spend your time, what you're doing with your money, your resources, how you're treating people. And then, oh, by the way, you'll figure it out. That's why sometimes we have this mindset that somebody is keeping something from us. Sometimes that's true because there are some horrible people in this world. But I would just say, if you're not in a situation where someone is, punishing you or being uh, nasty and mean or rude or beating you or, doing something that like that kind of extreme, and there's something you want to do, something you want to attain, it might simply, be as simple as like I wanted to learn how to cook good collard greens. I wanted to learn how to cook good collard greens. So and what is this is 2022. So 2020. In 2020, I made a batch of collard greens um, twice a month for the entire year. right? It is the first time I made them. The folks in my house were like, ugh, like this sucks, right? And so now, forget the people in my, in my circle, they're like, hey, can we get some of them collard greens? That's what I mean. So that's what something simple like that. And matter of fact, I had some yesterday. I made me some cornbread. It was Jiffy with my collard greens, and you're talking about some kind of delicious, like licking my fingers, delicious, right? And so that thing that you want to do, go for it, right? Could be something simple like that. I'm not talking about going out and being an astronaut, right? That kind of thing. So, and then the third consideration is, can someone else do it? Um, I'm just telling you that one of the greatest, most effective skills we can learn is how to delegate and how to say no. Those two things. Sometimes we do things we don't have to do, we don't want to do it because we're people pleasers, right? We're addicted to people liking us, right? And we really don't know how to say no. So I'm just going to ask you to show up for yourself first and then serve others from the overflow. Serve others from the overflow, right? So the first thing really is to know what you want, what you need, what you desire. And you have to know what is it you have to do. For my time, how do I need to spend my time? And then once you get all of that, like the things you have to do, nobody else can do it but you, right? So get those things done, get a system in place, get some relationships built. And then, like all those things you want to do, bam, start doing them. Like my collard greens, right? Start doing those things. And then these other things that someone has presented to you. For me, I served in the Army for 27 years, deployed a lot, spent a lot of time in all these other places, right? People telling me every 2 to 3 years where I would live, how long I would be there. And I'm just like, what? I'm over that. I retired in 2015, and my thoughts are that I am going to do what I must do, right? Which is to raise my son. I'm going to do that. And so my time, right, outside of that is doing the things I want to do. I feel like I missed out on some stuff. Like, oh my God, I'm going out here to figure out how to make some collard greens. And so for you, your situation, your experiences are definitely different from mine. However, we are the same. We are the same. We are the same in that we want to see things manifested in our lives that are going to, fill us up. So I'm telling you this is because I get presented with opportunities, jobs, jobs, opportunities to go do things. And so what do? I put them into this category right here, these considerations. And it is, do I have to do it? Right? Because first I have to know what I want, what I need, what I desire. And what I desire is to be a good mom. That's it, right? That's it. That's what I want. And so, okay, now what? Now I want to build a business, right, where I can help others, serve women, serve the community. Okay, so that's next. Got it? And so establish whatever your priorities are. Yours and mine are going to be different because we're different. I just want you to use this. So I'm giving this to you to use. I'm giving this to you to consider so that you um, learn to be comfortable with saying no, right? You break that addiction to people slapping you on the back, basically to get you to do something else, right? Make them feel good about being associated with you in this capacity. Get over that. Move past that, right? Stop being a people pleaser. It's okay. The people who are with you and for you, they're still going to love you, respect you, right? I had close friends that say no to me all the time. I love them. I have family members that, same thing, like challenge my thought process, my patterns, what I'm doing. It's okay to be challenged. So, what I'm telling you right now is to consider these three things before you accept yet another task. And then we have to listen to you say how tired you are, how busy you are, how much you have on your plate, how resentful you are. Because that's what happens, right? It's like I'm doing all these things and I don't know, I can't breathe. Stop it then. Might not be able to stop it like all at once, but you could break the addiction. You could start saying no. And let me just tell you what no list might sound like. No could simply sound like no. No can sound like oh no thank you, because I use it a lot. No thank you. No can sound like, oh, I have a scheduling conflict. Don't lie, but you probably do have a scheduling conflict because you have a lot going on, right? No could sound like, oh, not right now. Give yourself some space. Give yourself some space to consider this opportunity, right? Um, and so it sounds a lot. It doesn't have to be, your response doesn't have to be nasty, mean, demonstrative. It doesn't have to, it doesn't take all that. It doesn't, but the first thing you have to know is what's important to you, what your priorities are. Take a look at, you go take a look at your bank statement right now, and we'll tell you that's your priorities, right? That's where you're spending your money, right? You, you, you know, look at your calendar. And if you're not keeping a calendar, I would encourage you to do one. You do one of those, like I do. I like the Google one because I can share it across different platforms, right? And I can schedule meetings right on there. I could include my Zoom in there. All it's just very flexible. I like that. But you might be a person that wants the paper and pen kind of thing. Do that if that works for you, right? But if you're not keeping a calendar, um, then I'm just going to tell you right now, most likely time slips away from you very easily. So keep a calendar. That's like another gift. I'm just dropping nuggets left and right over here for you, right? And so this is part of leading yourself, learning how to accept task, learning how to say no, learning how to break the addiction or the cycle of being there for everybody else. It's part of leading yourself, right? It's part of leading yourself. And so I want you to win. I want you to succeed. I want you to do this thing, like no regrets, right? No regrets. So, so what we talked about today were three things to consider prior to accepting a task. You're like, well, do I have a choice? Are you breathing? Yes, you have a choice. I want you to be safe, right? If you're in some situation where that is not possible for you, then you do what you need to do, sis, to to survive, right? You do what you need to do to survive, and then slowly but surely break that, right? So that's what we talked about today, and I'm wishing you the best. I do want you to guard your habits, your routines, your mindset, and your time. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. That's by Aristotle. So that's my high five. Bam, my high five to you right now, and I want you to win. I'm going to go ahead and invite you to the next round of the Women's 3 Hour Leadership Intensive. It's on February 26th. We're 18 days out. So, ladies, it's time for you to focus on you so you can continue to lead them, right? So you can continue to be a role model to them, to all these folks that are counting on you. So it's 10 a.m. Until 1 p.m. on Zoom. And it was Saturday, February 26th. It's time for you to set aside some time and make sure that you have your priorities straight. Here we are in the middle of February. What's next for you, right? So that's what we'll do, and it's not about what Angela Odom wants. It's about what you want, what you desire, what you need, what your priorities are. what you're considering doing next, what this big thing is, or this small things. Might be something that's like my collard green, and I tell you what, they are delicious. So if you're ready to become a more trusted and effective leader, go ahead and schedule a virtual fit session with me. Just go to angelaodom.com/leadership capacity. And then we'll have a conversation. It's over Zoom, right? It's a verbal thing. We'll have a conversation about what you want to focus on and what aspect of your leadership do you want to grow, right? And so we'll talk through that. The Better You Leadership podcast is hosted by a proven leader, and that's me, Angela M. Odom, and I'm teaching women the nuances of personal development so that they may earn more respect and revenue. And with that said, I want to invite you to subscribe to the podcast. Listen to the Better You Leadership podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, also on Amazon Music. Make sure you take yourself right on over to angelaodom.com/podcast. And when you're out there, when you're going, you're listening to one of these on one of these different platforms. It's on all the streaming platforms. So when you're there, make sure you give me a rating of 5, right? Go ahead, give me a rating of 5. Don't do anything foolish with the 4 3s. I mean, stop playing with me, right? This is really good. I'm dropping nuggets for women leaders. So 5, a rating of 5. And then go ahead and leave one of those comments, something that you gained from the episode. And I'm just telling you, I know you gained a lot. I know, even if it's just to listen to my laugh, right, to brighten your day. And so every Tuesday, I'm here consistent for you to help you become a more trusted leader. With that said, make it a great day. If you can't make it great, make it wonderful. Take care.